Well, I come on this morning and I say that it's been one of those days where it's been kind of a long week for me, so haven't really made it to my meeting with the guild this morning, but do want to say that I've kind of worked along on things a little bit and just with the way I've done with a few things and how I've been doing them, I'd say that trying to think what to say, but like I said in the last video, that the video before that hadn't been uploaded yet as I was recording that one, but now both of those last two videos are uploading as I'm recording this one, and I say that maybe it would be a good time when we could try to make the baby Jesus. I do think, as far as what I see here, we might kind of take the top half of the shepherd's face and draw a line in here to make some little place there where a little line can go, and then try to work about what we do and see how this is going to make a way to do what we have here. And I say that these are going to be the lines we're going to cut along. I say as for this, we got little lines to make, and as for how we've gotten these to turn out, we got a place here at the top of the swaddling clothes where we're going to make the face of baby Jesus to come in, and I think it'd be a good idea to get a ruler out and do a little bit of some measurement here to see what it's going to be like. So I say we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 5, 1 and 5/8. So let's see. We're going to divide that up. 5/8 divided by 2. I'm trying to think. Taya, 1, 2, 4, 5, 16. That would be 5/16. So we're going to do 1/2 inch plus 5/16 and see 1/2 inch. Yeah, I tell y'all, people, I'm just not one of the best people when it comes to math like this, so it kind of has a little trouble with me, but I'd say 8 plus 1. I'd say that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. For a good that would be 14/16. So I'd say we can kind of take it along, go about 1/2 inch over from there, 1/2 inch over to the other side, I say, and make it so we're going to put these little lines in here. And so we go about, let's see what this measurement is going to be, 5/16 over from the side. So that's where we got these lines in, and go 5/16 over from the edge down from here to go up to the next. And so we kind of can get this in the right line just where it needs to be. Oh, I tell y'all, little 5/16 here and there, everywhere. We know that this is just how we work along the way we do. I tell y'all that there's probably a place or two where we can erase a line here or there. I even, to that matter, found a meme about these erasers, shared it a while back. It talks about how they just, not only did they not work, but they also tore the paper. And I share that meme and tell people that that's why, even though I still have a few around, I still use them to erase pencil off of wood. So that's kind of how that has to work along to us. And I think I'll see down here where I made this little line at the very little center. Just think I'll go probably, I'd say, about 1/4 of an inch over from that line to make this next little place here. And it just so happened that line happened to be a saw mark from where I had to cut one way for the others and cut a different way for this. So that was how that line kind of ended up in the middle from where I was cutting two different directions. But thinking at this time we're going to try to, and I tell you this all, it can't be perfect or anything, but I'd say that we're going to try to kind of make it so we're going to get a little line cut into here and make the little chin of the head for the baby Jesus as he's going to come along just right. And then just sort of like, this is where I made the little slanted line for the little wrapped part of the swaddling clothes. So that's where we kind of make our next couple little bit of lines just to come in where we're going to see the little baby Jesus come along, be a little character of us, and see what we do to make him all he's going to be, I say. And then just try to make the same little lines in this other little one as well. And that's how he's gonna come when we get the little extra work done into him to make him so he's going to be the little babe, so a few days old, that came to rifle Satan's fold. That was a little song called This Little Babe that has been around ages. It's been like an ensemble for choruses. I kind of made that little square for his head, but I think we're going to kind of try to round the square off a little bit here to try to make it come around a little bit more and see how we can come up with the way that the rest of the head is going to be, and see how, for a little work we do, make it come out so it's going to be a good little baby Jesus for us to see and to work with. And Oh, a little way it comes, I say, and the kingdom that the little baby came to make for us. We know for one thing that Israelites in those days in the Roman captivity, they were looking for an earthly kingdom. That was what they kind of wanted a Messiah to come and do. So they rejected Jesus when he came. It wasn't the kind of kingdom they wanted or the kind of kingdom they hoped for, but you know, that was just one of those things where we see that some people just didn't come to know what they came to know. And you know, there was such an Israelite generation back then. Come down to where we make this little head, and so come around here, round off these little corners of the square. Do want to mention that right now upstairs my parents have people from their church over there kind of helping do things like get the yard together and all that stuff. They're laying down mulch and planting mums, so that's kind of what the work of theirs has been lately. So they've been busy just volunteering to help out. And oh, I tell you, all little things that we need and get people to do, I say that is just the work we have in our lives, and see how we all come needing little help now and then. Oh, and I say a little work and a little grace that come to make us just what we are and who we are is just how we work along to see what we do for others as they come around us. Lord Jesus himself, you know, he was one to come to earth as a babe and live the life he lived for us. We're here in Kentucky, and cheerwine is not common in Kentucky, but in places like North Carolina it is. That's where my dad gets it from and where his side of the family is, so they get it from over there, and that's what I've got in that glass right there. You know, it's just one of those sodas they have out in other parts of the country, but it doesn't come around here, so it can be a little harder to get. Do think I'm going to take little corners off the top now to make out how we make the little top of the manger bed for the baby. And see how a little work shall make its way to us and to all we see. And it's just kind of the thing that we make our way about, seeing what it's going to be like when we all just get a little more done with what we have and what we do. I say that there's so much to learn in life about where we are, what we do, where we're going to be, and I say that this is just the desire of the heart. We got a little place to get away around the little work we do, and sometimes, just sometimes, somebody's going to kind of take an easy way out of something, but it's all just a little work we do, kind of make it so we're seeing brighter lights, brighter days, brighter mornings. Oh, love of God in us, I say. And I tell y'all that this is probably as far as we can come for a baby Jesus, but as for this little slanted line we make for the swaddling clothes, got one more to go here. Got another little line to make here. We're gonna kinda take along these little edges to make so we see what it's gonna be like as it all starts to come along. Make it so we're going to find a way to lighten our days and be bright as we can be with all we got. It's just kind of a little thing that where we got a little work to do. And as for the little ways we work along the piece, we're coming along making it so baby Jesus is going to be a wonderful little character in us, brightening our days, lights, nights, all things I say. Oh, characters. Oh, little light, I say. Oh, work for all things, and so much we'll see to share in the long run. And though we use kind of different woods for different figures, I think it all just comes down to where we make use of all the good little scraps we've got. And little do I know what I'm going to end up charging when it comes down to this nativity, but I'd say that just the work itself is going to be what's going to come down and be able to matter the most, I say. And I'd say there are certain steps we can think of as we go further along, but these are going to be the steps into baby Jesus for now. Eventually we're going to find a way to carve out a face into him, but we'll get around to that sooner or later whenever we can. So that's where we will be for the time. I think for this moment, we've got other little things. Say at this time, for these little cracks in the wood that we got on this little shepherd here, I think we're going to try to square those away. Try to make those get out and get a little better here and there. Oh, and I say, the little light in our heavens and earth and peace come to us is just all the ways that we work about these things to make how shepherds can grow in us and tell us a little light as to how we do. It's just kind of making it so we're going to cut away at what we have and what we do. I say we've kind of got to get past a little place where we need to see the work we're going to be putting into the piece, make it so it's going to be what it ought to be, showing its grace and mercy and kindness to us. And I say that this little shepherd of a creature is going to be a little kind way to go about our lives and what we do, and then kind of come along, go up to the sides of the faces, up to the corners, make it so we're going to get a little bright image in there and see how little shepherd is going to come out to be. And I say that we got the place where we come along for the mustache, and we're going to kind of work on another little thing too. Down here below where the beard and mustache go, we kind of got a little place to tie a little shepherd into a spot and make him so he's going to look good for us and show how good he can be when we all just get him done. Oh, for work in life and for little gospels of messages, I say that this is just the little work that the shepherd can take to make itself just one little shocking wave of a creature. And so that's where we're getting this along. Sometimes, you know, there's little myths and folklores people can think a piece of wood looks just like, and every time you do, you'll see something that might sound or look familiar to you here and there. And we finally got the little chip done away, make it so it's going to come down to where we see how we got the beard in place, and knowing that it's just a world that kind of comes down to where we've got the little place coming out to make what we see, and finally come down to where we get this much done. And I'll tell y'all that there might be a little more to show as we come further along down the way, but there seems to be a little misdirection in the wood here, so might want to get a different knife to take care of that with. And I say that some little bit of work shall find a way into the shepherd's life to make him so he comes along as a so much better type of work for us. And just to know we've got this place here to go right along below the headdress, make that little mark there, and then come down to where we're going to take care of it all the rest of the way coming up, to see how this is just the kind of thing we'll see when it comes down to the very little adding place of what we do. I say that this is going to add up to a lot when we get the little shepherd done, and think we're coming up the rest of the way, and got little more things taken care of here as we take a little further along up the shepherd's headdress to make little slants in the wood to see how shepherd is going to come along, to kind of show a little all that we need to see and know and do for what a little shepherd can be. Come down to where we trim a little more in, and come down to where we get this particular place. And so I'd say we can kind of take care of this little part of the mustache here that is up here in the face, and it's hard to tell exactly what's here because you can't see everything, but there's probably going to be some things that are going to become a little more visible once we get around to making the eyes and the face. And so I'd say for a good shepherd like this, it's going to be one of those types of work we see in ourselves and what we do and how it measures up to being just the little way as for all we have to see. Oh, shepherd boy, come on and come on. It's just work this way out. See how we got little faces to go, and make it so we're kind of moving along the little beard here, and then make it where we're going to trim the sides, see how he's going to come out, and then finally get a good little piece of work put in. Do think that probably apart from video time, I might kind of get around to finishing a little bit more on the other one as well. This is kind of a different kind of wood, so it's kind of, I'd say, getting a little too chippy in places and kind of making it so I'm kind of having a hard time being able to concentrate much on what I'm doing. So we might have to kind of put things aside for a moment, and to kind of keep the beard separated from the mustache, I think I've decided I'm going to carve a little place for the mouth down in here. And so that's how we got along on him. Do think we're going to try to work our ways a little more, make things a little better. And so we'll get around to drawing a face into him eventually, but I'd say as for now, this will probably be all for this video. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for keeping in touch. Thank you for watching. If you get a chance, I'd be happy to have you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned into this channel if it so interests you to do so. So I'd be happy to have you come on anytime, watch any video I've made, anything I like to show, anything I can do, and any questions you might have. So thank you again for coming on and seeing this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.